Hey everyone. Today I am working on the Altered Index 2025 challenge put on by Nonstop Paper Crafts, and I'm on week 37. The prompt for week 37 is foreign text. So I have this Dutch book that I picked up at a garage sale. I'm going to use a little bit of a book page. I have this bicycle because I know there's a lot of bicycles in Holland. I've got my watercolor cardstock, my card base, which I'll put aside, and then I went on Google Translate and looked up how to spell thinking of you in Dutch, and I'm not going to try to pronounce it, but I've got all the letters die cut with my alphabet die set, and I will put those together later, and that will basically be it. So I'm going to start with adding some color to this. And I'm just going to add some color on my glass mat, add some water to that, and then I've got my little handmade smusher tool from NB Cards, and I'm just going to add some random color, and I will give this a dry with my heat gun and be back. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit more color to that. Just kind of squish some more in there. And I will dry this again. Okay, I think that is good for the moment. Let me grab this book. I have no clue what it's about. So let's just grab a page. And my thought was to kind of have it as the ground. Do I want this torn? Let's go, like maybe see what that does. I'm thinking if I put that, I might add a little bit of brown ink to that, maybe. And then the bicycle. You know what? Let's stamp and die cut the bicycle right now. And I will bring in my Misty, which I had right handy there. You know what I don't have handy is some white cardstock. Just a moment. Okay. Got some scrap cardstock. And I think, debating on what color. Do I want it black? Or do I want to do it in a slightly darker blue? Hold up. I have a blue that is called Dutch blue, so that's kind of fitting. Now I don't know what it's going to do with the background, but we'll see. So let's ink this up. Let's do it again. And I think I'm going to do it one more time. This is an ink pad I got secondhand, and it's obviously not like super juicy, but it should work. Well, it is working. It should work well enough. Okay, I'm happy with that. What I do want to do is grab a paper, and I want to add some clear embossing powder on there. Hopefully this ink is wet enough to add that. Let's see how it works. Okay, I don't even think embossing powder stuck on that. Oh, it did. I can feel it. Okay. Okay, now this wonderful stamp set also has the coordinating die with it. So I'm just going to line this up and add some washi tape. Just make it not super sticky. And I will go cut this out. All right. There we have it. Just gonna pop this away. Okay, now let me bring this back in and see if my colors are gonna go okay now that I kind of changed things a bit. I probably want this a little smaller. And I'm going to see how long or how much space this takes. Okay, so this needs to be a little smaller. So if that goes there-ish, with the bike on there. The words, I'm not sure. I have a couple, oops, one just fell. I have a couple different distress sprits. I have weathered wood and walnut stain. You know what? I think I'm going to spritz this paper with walnut stain. Okay, so I got my little splatter box. Let's pick that up. And I already shook this up. So, oh, that's really dark. Maybe it'll dry a little lighter. Let's let that dry for a moment and see how it looks. Okay, I don't know if I'm going to be happy with that being quite so dark. It's darker than I expected. So I might just tear a little bit more. How about let's go here. And see what this looks like. Okay, I'm gonna bring the splatter box back in, and I'm gonna get a different spray. I'm going to try my, what is this one? Tarnished Brass Distress Mica Spray. It's more of a gold. Ooh, that gave some really big splotches on there. But you know what? I might just dab a couple of those little splotches off here. You know what? Just get a Kleenex, that's handy. That gives it just a little bit of color, but not quite so dark as that. And I know it's not dry yet, but let me just pull this in. Okay. think I like that better, but you know what? I might do just the bottom of this. Just kind of put that there as a mask. Oh. Got that with that on there. Maybe I did too much now. Oh, that's the wrong one. This one. I have that with the bicycle on there. And this could be a challenge, but I think I want to spritz these also with that Distress spray. You know what, maybe I will put them all on here so it's easier to put them in the box. Also have the little tiny, oh, turn over, the little dot for the top of the J I've got here as well, but it is not one. There we go. Wasn't wanting to go on the proper way. Can I fit all of these nicely on here? I think so. Then the question will be, can I get them into the box nicely without them falling? Oh, look at that. Okay, they're going to be speckled and splattered, but that's okay. We'll leave that sit for a few moments. And I think, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead with some Bearly Art glue and glue this piece down. I hope this book has some decent stuff on. I know it's just a tiny little piece on here, but hopefully it's not something nasty. Because I'm going to send this card to a really good friend of mine who is from Holland originally. Okay, I'm happy with that. That's going to go there. Let me just see how this fits on the card. Okay, that'll fit good. Sometimes I trim them down, but this one I don't think I will. But what I might do, I might run some brown ink around the edges. We'll see. Let's see how these letters are doing. They're not quite dry yet. I'm going to take my heat tool and dry these a little bit more. Okay, I think these are dry. So let me just see what this is going to look like. Okay, those colors stand out nicely. The little dot. Okay, I'm happy with that. So I am going to come back in with my glue again and my tweezers And I'm going to start gluing these letters down. Oh, that was a lot of glue on that one. Yikes. I am thankful for Google Translate because I would not have had a clue how to say this. Oops. You know, I actually bought this Dutch book at a garage sale, thinking of making a card for this friend and using a book page. And I probably bought it a year ago and I have not yet used it. So thank you to Nonstop Paper Crafts for having this prompt of using foreign texts, because as soon as I saw the prompt for that, I knew that I wanted to do something for my friend using that book that I bought. So that gave me the opportunity to actually use it. A little bit of glue that was stuck on my hand there. There we go. Almost done this part. One letter left, if I can get it. I like those colors together, actually. Now I will add this on, probably just right there. Okay, now before the pin in the glue. Before I add this to the card base, I do want to go around the edges, and I think what I'm actually going to do is stick a little bit of this down and use a paintbrush. Use a paintbrush to just kind of paint a little bit of color on the sides. Is that gonna... Okay, I need a lot more of this. Just have to keep refilling here and there. I wonder, should I just kind of do that? That might be better, and then it's not... Doesn't have to be even, it just needs to have a little bit of color. I feel like it just kind of ties it in a little bit more with the bottom and with the letters. This side. A little bit more on the bottom. I think that's good. Okay, I'm just going to clean this up. And then basically it's pop this on the card. So let's go ahead and use the Bearly Art glue again. Oops, come back here. Well, there we go. This is my card for, what did I say it is, week 37, I believe. Just let me grab my paper. Yes, we're week 37 of the Altered Index 2025 challenge put on by Nonstop Paper Crafts. And the prompt for week 37 is foreign text. So I've got some Dutch text, a Dutch thinking of you with a little bit of Dutch book page, some Dutch blue ink, and a bicycle. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful, peaceful day.